to the channel. Welcome. In today's video I want to address something, and the reason why I really want to address that thing is that it's something that I can say that I can relate to it. Like, I can really relate to it personally, and most times when I see people that make this comment out of some erroneous opinion and out of I can say, like, out of ignorance in the sense that they've not really been affected by it, or they have not really had the experience. It warrants somebody to really speak out, because oftentimes it's only what you know that you can actually, speak with, or speak against, or speak about authoritatively. So that particular thing I want to talk about is this popular belief and popular thing that people always say when people go have issues of maybe domestic issue. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, if I take the case of this most recent incident about this what is her name, Bimbola and the IVD, the young lady that just lost her life recently. Because of what she was going through in the marriage, in her relationship. And when things like that happen, and I remember when Osinachi's case, Osinachi, the popular gospel singer, when her own issue happened also, there's always this popular narrative that people always come up with when people will begin to say, oh, the family did not do much, the family did not do this, the family should have done this, the family should have done that, friends should have done this and done that. Look, it is said that the most important or the most standing advice in life is the one that you give to yourself. Look, it's very easy for people to come up to you and give you advice, tell you to do this, to do that, to do this. Do you know, at the end of the day, what will really stand is what you eventually tell yourself. And most times we tell ourselves what we tell ourselves based on, extracting from this, extracting from this, extracting from this, from different advice you've gotten from different angles. You extract them, you sit down, you digest them, you think about them, you evaluate them, you analyze it, whatever word you can use, and at the end of the day you decide to use which one you want to use. And at the end of the day, it was not really these people's advice that you actually use, it is the very one that you gave to yourself. When you come to that point where you say, you know what this person saying makes sense, what this person saying makes sense, okay, I think I'm going to do it this way, I'm going to do it this way. And at the end of the day, the advice that really stands is the one that you give to yourself. So why am I saying this? People are always very quick to say, oh, the family didn't do this. The reason why I want to make this video today is because I have this experience, and I have come to the conclusion of what I just said, that the best advice in life is always the one you give to yourself. So people should not always be too quick in judging families or relatives of somebody who went through, an ugly situation in their relationship, be it that the person eventually, did not make it out alive, or whatever that happens. Do not be too quick, because most times you don't know what families go through in trying to save these people, this person, this individual from the situation. Oftentimes people find it difficult to, separate themselves to, or maybe to come to terms with the fact that your family loves you and your family is doing what they're doing. So the bottom line is that most time you see yourself where you are trying to drag somebody out of a situation, but for some reason that you cannot explain, that individual keeps going back to that particular situation. And it comes to a point where you are helpless, because you cannot really save somebody who does not want to save themselves. You cannot really fight for somebody, excuse me, who does not want to fight for themselves. You cannot really, there's so much you can do for a grown adult. There is just so much that you can do for somebody who is grown, who is old enough to take a decision for themselves. The reason why I said that this comes home for me is this. Recently I had a similar incident, where a family member was going through, situations. And initially, I didn't even know that something like this was going on, because we are so far away apart. This person is in Nigeria, I'm all the way in the United States. And, after the time she got married, I wasn't even there. I was already out of the country when she got married. This marriage has lasted for like about 7 years. I've been in the country for way more than 10 years. So I don't really know much about this relationship. Or the only thing I know is that she's married. Once in a while we talk and everything. And then recently, somebody brought it to my attention that actually that this person is going through this particular situation in her relationship. So, and when I heard it, I was like, no, because at one person, I do not like any form of violence. I just don't like it. So immediately I called her. So I wanted to verify. So I called her, and then, and the person that told me warned me, say, please, when you want to address this issue, do not come out, openly to tell her, this is what I heard. You find a way to just go around it. Just make it look as if you're just trying to check up on her. You want to know how her marriage is going and stuff like that. Just find a way to go around. Is it okay? I asked the person why. She said because over the time that she has realized that she's always very defensive when you want to bring up that issue. She's always very defensive. These are people that communicate with her on a daily basis. So that was exactly what I did when I called her and I started asking, and she, of course, expected it just like I was told already. She started dancing around the whole thing. And I got off the phone with her. Do you know that a few minutes later, the person that told me called me and was telling me that she called her, was asking her, why did she tell me what she was going through in her marriage? I said, okay, no problem if that is the case. To cut the very long story short, I kept quiet. Then few months, I'm talking about just 3 weeks ago, I was on my own. This particular lady called me. She's a family member though. She called me and she started saying, so you know what, I'm so sorry the last time you called me, I lied. The truth about it is that this is what I've been going through for the past 7 years. And at this point in time, I'm tired, I want to leave, da 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 da. I asked her a lot of questions. To cut the very long story short, she said she's ready to leave. We helped her, man over the way. First of all, she has my 3 kids, took her away from that environment, and then we were in the process of trying to set up something, because I believe, okay, I don't believe in giving people fish. I believe in showing you how to fish so that you can get it. So we tried to say, okay, the first thing we have to do is to set you up, get you a place. We paid for an apartment, in the process of everything. I can tell you, within a space of 3 weeks, I cannot just stand here to tell you how much I spent on this individual, from getting a house to registering the kids in school and everything. Suddenly, in the middle of the whole thing, we were getting ready to get a business for this person because she got a shop. We were trying to get a place for her to stay. My beloved ones, do you know what happened? Just out of the blues. The first call I got was that, that they said that where she's staying, that they've not seen her for like a week or something. Everybody was panicking. We were all scared. What happened? What happened? What happened? Lo and behold, a few days ago, it turned out that this individual has gone back to that very toxic place where she was, we were trying to pull her out of. She has gone back to that place. At this time around, she decided not to tell anybody. She cut off as I'm talking to you, every member of the family. Nobody knew. She did not tell nobody. She did not inform nobody. She just disappeared. The only thing how we got to know was that her neighbors started complaining they've not seen her for the past 1 week. They started reaching out to family. And then in the course of our investigation, we found out that she has actually gone back to the same place she was coming from. After making everybody spend money, spend time, do everything for her. But the point I'm trying to make here is this. Most times when people go through these things, please, let's not be too quick in saying family did not do much, because there is much you can do for a grown adult. There is just so much that you can do for a grown adult. That is just the truth about it. When people decide what they want to do, the much you can do is to give advice. Then if they decide to sit down and use your advice to their benefit, fine. Sometimes they may decide not to. What can you do? You can't drag them, you can't force them. You won't do nothing to them. All you have to do is to keep doing your own part. But if a grown adult decides to keep herself in a particular situation, there is just as much you can do. That is just the simple truth about it. So, I just felt like I needed to say this, because oftentimes we make this mistake of always, our first blame is always the family didn't. And honestly, let me tell you something. When the Sinachi's case happened, I was one of the people that said that her family all failed her. Family should have done this. But after I listened to the mother, listened to everybody think that, I realized that that was, I was in the wrong for making that statement. And now, because this same particular situation has hit home for me, I can understand. So that is just what I feel. That is just how, what I want to talk about. It's important for us to understand that there is nobody. You can count how many families that you can say that does not love their loved one, that would like to see their loved one be in harm's way and just be quiet. Most times families do their part. But hey, there is much you can do for a full-grown adult. That is just the simple truth. Anyway, that is just what I want to do in this video today. Whatever is your thought, you can do where to leave it at the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.